Okay guys, we're going to go to Ask Scruff. So let's just flick this over. Now I'm up to Mark's question. Let's salute to you, Mikey. There's quite a bit to unpack on this. And it's something that we all go through. So just quickly read it out. Recently had two big losses. Okay, that's something we need to address. Which were caused by not setting a box of pain and ultimate stop far enough behind a level. Okay. The market turned away from the level, but then I've been caught out by a long wick as it reverses. Naturally, the trades went on to success. It's happened twice now. Totally appreciate you have to let your trades breathe, but wondered if there's a set rule, number of pips, etc. I traded it on Bitcoin. Okay. Because you're working on a weekends, and it's amazing how the levels and fibs are respected. It is, but those wicks would have caught people out. Okay, so there's quite a bit to unpack here. So we'll break it down. So recently had two losses. But the key word there was big losses. They're only big losses if you don't agree to them. So you should actually know how much a trade is going to cost you before you enter the market. If you sort of just go in willy-nilly, position size is not correct, and then when it hits you, you're like, oh my God, oh, it's too big, it's too big. That was a wing and a prayer trade, okay? You'll never survive doing that, okay? So that's the first thing. Ensure you agree to the loss before you press the button. All right. The next part of it was you're not setting the box of pain or your stop far enough behind the level. Well, I work to 2 points, a level and a swing point. And I want both of them. And I certainly want the level. Now, the question is how far do you start setting it? You know, yes, you're going to get clipped from time to time. It's inevitable. And I do trade with a reasonably wide stop to most. But there is rules inside it. And let me kind of explain. All right. The market came up to the level, a wick through, caught you out. Right. That means your stop was actually on the level. Well, if it's on the level, there's going to be a reaction around there and it will pulse through. Now, Bitcoin, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin. I know you've seen me trade it recently, but that's for you guys. But I'm not a big fan of it because it's a very dangerous market and it is prone to just explode without any sort of prior knowledge. Bang, off it goes. So it's not a good market to trade on. No, but if you're practicing, fair enough, I can go with that. The rule that I have is I look at ATRs. If no trade can exceed a full ATR, so if the ATR is 90, that's your maximum size. Because if it's 180, well, you're inviting the market to run overnight, which is not something you want. And also, you want to be in and out in a day. I work roughly to about half an ATR, okay, which will be 50-ish pips, give or take. That allows me to stage in. Bitcoin, obviously, it's going to be wider. I was kind of using cable as an example there. So that's kind of the rule that I look to. It's somewhere between half an ATR to a full ATR, but it's based on structure, the swing, and a level. And I want it not necessarily relatively tight because you've got to have your trade breathe, but I don't want it so far away that it's just pointless. If you've got a stop that's like 120 pips away. Well, if the market's ran 80 odd pips, which is pretty much a full ATR in a singular direction, the chances are you're on a trend day and you're just going to get wrecked. So there's no point. But there has to be a point somewhere in the middle, kind of the Goldilocks zone, if you like, where it's not too painful, not too pleasurable either, somewhere in the middle. And I find 40, 50 pips is about right. It allows the trade to breathe, but I'm scaling in, so that reduces exposure, etc. And if I get clipped, I already agree to the cost. So I hope that helps in a roundabout way. Bring it up in the Zoom calls and we'll talk it. And watch the way that I map these trades out. I've done it this morning and it's explained in the pound JPY trade just for the guys in the squad. That'll be in the bulls and bears. If it's not in now, it'll certainly be in very soon, because I'm doing these videos back to back. And check that and you'll see how it works. So I hope that helps you, Mark. Catch you soon.